What's up, guys? Just another day being violently humbled by my child's nap schedule. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tabitha. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're not, thanks for coming back. But this is my first time talking about my actual writing process, and so I thought it'd be really fun to kind of take you along. But this is my first time talking about my actual writing process, and so I thought it'd be really fun to kind of take you along. I've been trying to get back into a good writing groove, and the only time I have ever consistently been in a good writing routine has been when I am doing it first thing in the morning before I do anything else. And what that means for my life right now, I'm a new mom. I have a 7-month-old today. I'm teaching from home, and I'm also, as of right now, the primary caretaker for my son because my husband's recovering from an injury. And so, really, the only time is like nap time. And so, those have been pretty unpredictable lately, but we persevere. So basically, I've been waking up at 5 every weekday and just writing until he wakes up. Sometimes he wakes up at 4:30 and nothing gets done. But I did make it every day this week. This is my third week of doing this, and it is starting to feel easier. And so it was just kind of fun to hop on every morning, just like whisper into my camera about how it's going. It's not super like me to give a whole lot of information about my writing process, but the thing is that writing is kind of like an isolating process, especially when you're already in a lifestyle that's like pretty isolated. And so to talk about it, even just to my camera, like was kind of fun. So the collection that I'm working on is a collection of short stories that I started some of them in undergrad. Some of them I've been carrying around for a long time, and they've changed a lot over the years. Most of them I wrote in grad school, but primarily they're stories about like college age women, women in their 20s, and just the things that I don't know you care about at that time, you know. So shitty jobs you're working, the shitty boys you try to date, like that was like kind of the inspiration for it. Um, and so it's interesting to work on it now when I'm in like a very different phase of life. But it's also like I'm so glad I have these things written down, you know, because they were important to me at some point, and I hope that someone would connect with that. Whatever, we can still see. The thing with short stories is people don't read them a lot unless they're also writing short stories, which means that people don't want to publish them traditionally. Very often, not always, but often. It's pretty difficult to get agented with a short story collection, for example. Typically, they'll say like, "How about a novel? Are you working on a novel?" Because they just sell better. But I feel like this collection, with the subject matter, with like my writing style, like it like to me it feels like it could reach people who would not normally reach story collection. That's kind of my hope for it. And so I don't like I have been submitting it to small presses and university presses for a while, but then I also sort of want to give it a chance. I've never like queried it or anything because I just assumed nobody would want it agent wise. But I think it's different. I think it could have its spot in the market. Um, I feel like this word is used too often, but and I hesitate to say it about a short story collection, but I think subject matter wise, it feels a little more upmarket than typical short story collections. Which really what that means is it doesn't seem to quite have a like it hasn't found a place in indie press because of that, and there is not really a market in traditional publishing for short stories. So it's in sort of this weird in between space, and so I think it might be helpful to try to give it the full range of effort, which I didn't really have the motivation to do before. So what I'm working on right now is an essay that is about kind of my experience writing it and sort of like where I was at while I was writing these stories, and how that was like inspired by my life, but also how it veered from reality. And kind of where what that's focused on is when I was like a few weeks into my first university creative writing class, I got like really dumped, and that was like a really formative experience for my writing. Um, for better and for worse. And so that's what this essay has been about. In November, I'm going to be doing, well, that's now, novel November. So my goal is to write every weekday, aim for 1,000 words, kind of just continue what I'm doing, and just get back into a novel that I've picked up and put down several times at this point. I'm just hoping this is the one that sticks. So once I've been a month into that project, then I'll go back and I'll read this once I have a little more space, and then try to get the collection back into like submission ready shape. So that's what I've been working on. So I don't know. I hope it's fun, and check it out. One of the things about recording little mini writing vlogs is I'm gonna look like this. So it's Monday, it's 7:45. I got the baby back to bed around like 6:45, and I've been feeling a little sad today. And so instead of sitting down and working on my regularly scheduled writing, I just wrote a couple pages in my dad notebook, and that was nice. Felt good, nice and cathartic. I don't know how much longer we have. The first nap's not usually 2 hours, but it might be like an hour and a half, so we might have time. Everything is done in ticking minutes of nap time if it's not done before he wakes up. So we work with the pockets of time we have. It is what it is. So let's try to get a little bit done and hope tomorrow goes better. Good morning. It's Tuesday. It's 5:30. The baby's asleep. God bless him. Let's get some writing done. This is where we're at today. Went to bed way too late. Baby woke up, and then I woke up to my cat just yelling for no reason. Missing even one single day of my writing routine has been detrimental. You skip one day, and then they start snowballing. So I made myself show up, and I kid you not, one sentence in, and the baby woke up, which is my fault for starting late. But he was awake and not yet crying. So now he's ready to get out of bed. I managed 715 words, which I'm proud of. I just crossed into 70,000 word territory, which is crazy. I'm gonna cut a lot of what I'm writing right now. I might just finish it tomorrow. Finish word vomiting tomorrow, and then say this is December. Tap at this problem, which I think is better anyway. The little bit of distance. Okay, I gotta go get my baby. Bye. Good morning. It's Thursday, and I can really feel that I'm nearing the end because I'm really losing steam. um, when I'm close to the end of like a short story, a lot of times that's kind of invigorating because I'm like, oh my god, I'm almost there. Usually I have a better idea of where I'm going and how I want to get there. I don't really with this particular project. I don't typically write essays. I might hate it. It's pretty long. I'm just like throwing stuff in there and seeing what sticks. So today I'm nearing the end. I can feel it partially because it is almost the end of the month. It's the 30th. But also I get like people are always like, how do you know when you're done with a story? How do you know when you're done with a book? For me, it's a vibes thing. I can feel when the vibes are ready to be done. Sometimes I think I'm just emotionally ready to be done, and that's what happened with this collection. I was like, I'm there. I'm as far as I can take it for right now, and I'm nearing that again. So I don't know what I'm doing with this, honestly. We'll just see what happens with today's session. Okay, content wise, this essay is just getting dumber and dumber. Like I feel that I've fully lost the plot at this point. Like I'm just adding things, and I hate it. I'm not rereading it to confirm this, but I fear that I hate it. So I think today I need to have a little think and decide what I could do tomorrow to feel like I have wrapped it up. Right now, it's not it. But you know what? It doesn't have to be it. It just needs to be done. I saw somebody post to make it exist and then make it. What was it? I'll find it. I just need to get it on the page and then I'll figure it out from there. Good morning. It's Friday of the third week of me waking up at 5 to write. And it's feeling easier, which kind of like checks out. Like by the end of the third week, it's like, okay, I'm doing this. And that's why, at least to me, in the very beginning especially, you can't miss even a day. Because you'll miss one day and then you'll miss another day. And it's over. But 3 weeks feels good. I am really just trying to wrap things up. Let's put the story to bed today. It's the 31st and tomorrow is novel November. I gotta really switch gears. So I'm not gonna try to add very much. I'm not going for a high word count. I'm going for just wrapping things up. If I were to read it though, it's pretty long. It would take a while, so I think I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna get to where I feel like I wrapped it up. Move on with my life. Um I also probably want time for this right now, but want to spend today at some point or tonight making a plan for tomorrow. That's like some advice I was given in grad school that I think is really great. Like, go to bed thinking about what you want to fix in your writing tomorrow. What scene you want to cover, things like that, so that it's like bouncing around in your subconscious. Um, so at some point today, I need to do that so that tomorrow when I sit down to write, it just, it's time to go. I did like a general outline of at least first 2/3 of the book, and I think I'm gonna go in and make more specifically a scene list for the first like quarter. So that's where we're at. Let's see what we can do. I think we're done. Right as the baby started waking up, I was kind of putting the last few lines. I think I've hit all the things I want to hit. I found a good stopping point, and it feels done. I'm not going to read it again. I'm not going to touch it until December. So future tabs problem. But it feels so good to know that this thing that I've been wanting to add to the collection and kind of tie it together is finished. And it also feels good because it's sort of wrapping up like this moment in my life, like this period of time. So in conclusion, I guess I think it went pretty well. I mean, I woke up every day. That was half the battle, maybe more than half the battle. But it was cool checking in every day. Thanks for listening as I rant about it. I feel like the collection is, well, it's a mess right now, but I think when I come back to it in a month, I think it's getting closer to where I want it to be. And I'm really hoping that this essay I've been working on will sort of tie together these stories that I've been dragging along forever. And so hopefully this will be kind of like the centerpiece that makes it all click. And so thanks for following along. I really love watching other authors share about their writing process. So if this is something that's like helpful to you or interesting to you, please let me know. If there are authors that you like watching, or if you're another author that shares on YouTube, drop in the comments. I'd love to connect. That's all I have for you. See you in a couple of weeks.